Assessment plays a critical role in student learning because it helps teachers set standards, monitor and evaluate student progress, and most of all, motivate student performance. However, the advent of COVID-19 has caused a radical shift in the Philippine educational system affecting its assessment practices. To all the members of the International Organization Health, Sports and Kinesiology, and to all the attendees of this online virtual conference, Mabuhay from the Philippines. I am Professor Alvin Francis Ambe, and together with Professor Cesar Pagulong and Professor Rovie Bucad, we are here to present our research entitled Assessing Learners' Performances in Physical Education in the New Normal, Teachers' Experiences. The transition from face-to-face to remote teaching has significantly impacted how practical skills, including education, are taught and assessed. According to the study of Blue et al. 2020, this current educational system is challenging to physical educators because in PE, the body is the medium of instruction in all activities. In addition, according to the study of Centio et al. 2021, PE teachers are struggling with assessment and accountability because student participation is difficult to track remotely. With the current educational shift and with all the challenges being mentioned, the researchers are then intrigued to know how do physical teachers assess practical skills in the new normal. For our methodology, this study utilized a qualitative research design, specifically the case study method, to unveil the participants' assessment practices in the flexible learning modality. And to collect data, a semi-structured interview guide was used to conduct the study. There were three physical education teachers who took part on this study. All of them has met the three inclusion criteria which will be discussed later. The presence of these inclusion criteria were identified in order for us to achieve the research objective and also to establish credibility among our participants. And these inclusion criteria are the following. First, the PE teachers should be a full-time or part-time instructor. Second, he or she has passed the teacher's licensure examination. And lastly, he or she has taught PE for the academic years 2019 to 2020 and 2020 to 2021. In addition, these inclusion criteria will make sure that our participants will give a rich experiences of their assessment practices in the new normal. In the conduct of the study, ethical considerations were also followed as participant consent forms were sought. To analyze the data, we have utilized Mustaka's modified Van Kaam method of thematic analysis. As you can see from the transcript, there is horizontalizing of all relevant expression, and the process of reduction and elimination of all relevant expressions were done. After that is the creation of cluster and core themes, then followed by the construction of individual textual descriptions, and lastly, the development of the synthesis of the structural description. The next part will be the presentation of our results and discussion, which will be discussed by my fellow researchers. And to start, let us welcome Dr. Cesar Pagulong.
The first theme that emerged is utilizing online platforms and reshaping teaching processes and instructional methods to facilitate student learning in the new normal. According to Ibrahim et al. 2020, online learning has been made available for higher education through recorded lectures and online platforms. It is one of the main pillars of quality education in the new normal. Likewise, in the study of Hitler's and Pelosi 2006, online learning has become a part of the 21st century as it makes use of the online platforms. According to Glathorn 2000, adjustment on assessment measures is a significant factor amid the pandemic. There is a need to limit requirements and focus on the important essential projects that measures the enduring learning outcomes. In modifying and revamping the teaching methods in the curriculum amid the pandemic, it must be remembered that initiatives and evaluation tasks must be anchored on what the learners need, including their safety and well-being. According to Ryan et al. 2013 and Chicago et al. 2018, curriculum recalibration is not just about the content of what to be learned and taught, but how it is to be understood, trained, and assessed in the context of the challenges brought about by the pandemic. A flexible curriculum design should be learner centered, take into account the demographic profile and circumstances of the learners, such as access to technology, technological literacies, different learning styles and capabilities, different knowledge backgrounds and experiences, and ensure varied and flexible assessment forms by Ryan et al. 2018. The second theme, which appeared to provide feedback through formative assessment for students' development, was the most effective assessment for students in the new normal. Feedback is powerful in the learning process if used effectively. Constructive feedback should be multidimensional, non evaluative, supportive, timely, specific, credible, infrequent, and genuine, according to Rovie et al. 2010. A specifically designed rubric in assessing students' performance emerged as Theme 3 of the current research study. According to Alamer et al. 2021, standardized rubrics give students a reference point regarding what is expected while learning oral skills, which results in students working towards improving their skills to meet the standards of the rubric. When applied in the classroom, a well designed rubric stimulates feedback from students as a formative assessment method. Additionally, they can be used summatively to help students compare their self assessment and a grader's judgment. To give you the fourth theme and the fifth themes, Dr. Rovie Gretchel Bucad will continue.
The fourth core theme, which stated technical, personal, and assessment difficulties as pressing issues in the new normal, emerged based from the clustered theme shown in the current slide. Assessment has become difficult due to the volume of outputs to be checked and the difficulty in providing feedback. These difficulties arose as a result of the instructor's physical distance from the students, adaptations as a result of the necessity of using technology to communicate with students, workload, and time management issues, and the ongoing need to collect and provide feedback on a variety of assessment data according to KIAMS in 2012. This is supported by the study of Jamon et al. In 2021, who state that monitoring, feedback, and assessing learning are challenges teachers face in the new normal. To complete the 5 themes in this study, the modification and extension of student output submissions has been emerged based on the clustered themes, which encompasses the allowing extensions and modification in student submissions to cater to student needs, understanding student circumstances, accepting late submissions and encouraging students to meet deadlines, assisting and motivating students to succeed academically, and maximizing group work to lessen teachers' workload. Despite the various challenges that PE teachers face, they continue to ensure that their assessments are barrier-free and meet the diverse needs of their students, allowing extensions on output submissions and giving consideration to students' work were some of their measures to address the technological divide in the classroom. Teachers also maximize group work and incorporate online applications to assist students in large file submission and specify performance limits to respond to the sheer volume of outputs to be checked. To sum up the result of this study, the current slide showed the thematic diagram developed by the researchers. As shown in the figure, about the thematic diagram on assessing learners' performances in physical education in the new normal, it showed that the 2 core themes which stated that the use of a specifically designed rubric in assessing student performance and providing feedback through formative assessment for students' development greatly attributes in relation to the first core theme about utilization of online platforms and reshaping teaching processes and instructional methods to facilitate student learning, in which the three core themes mentioned, together with the fifth core theme about the modification and extensions of student output submissions, also attributes to the personal, technical, and assessment difficulties as pressing issues in the new normal. Based on the five core themes that emerge in the current study, researchers developed a theory as shown in the figure, which stated application of the revamped teaching methods and processes in assessing practical skills amidst adversity.
To conclude, this study describes effective practical skill assessment of PE teachers under the flexible learning modality in the Philippines. In addition, based on Mostaka's thematic analysis, there were five core themes that emerged. And with these five themes, the researchers were able to develop a proposition that teachers apply revamped teaching methods and processes in assessing practical skills in the new normal amidst diversity. This implies that teachers, despite difficulties, are still true to their mission in educating the young, and in the Philippines, we advocate that in una sa lahat, ang bata, or the children must come first. And for our suggested research or future directions, we suggest that there should be a study in the different areas of teaching like preparation and instruction. And in addition, sample size could be increased to support the findings. Next, here are our selected resources. Thank you so much for listening and for taking time for our research presentation. For comments, suggestions, and recommendations, we are very open to welcome them and feel free to contact us if you want to. Thank you and mabuhay from the Philippines.